starts now.
Well, if you've been outside, you've noticed it is warmer out there, but it's also windy. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Namdi Agwanwu. Thanks for joining us. Let's send it over to Kenton with the latest on these wind gusts.
All right, guys, take a look at this here. If you look at our current sustained winds, we're around 23 mile-per-hour winds in Kansas City, 20 in St. Louis. Again, these are sustained winds. And if you look at our wind gusts, they're about 30 miles per hour, actually, wind gusts right now in Columbia, 37 over in Kansas City. And these are still from the southwest, so it's you would think it's still a little bit warmer. What's actually happening, though, is we've already had this boundary that's been rolling through, and that's actually helped us to cool down already. We already hit our high temperatures earlier. Now it's already 60 in Columbia, 62 in Jefferson City, and that means it's about 25 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday when we were in the middle 80s. So a big cool down for us. That cooler temperature will continue, and also a few showers already starting to pop up, as I was talking about yesterday, just east here for our eastern viewing area, even east of Fulton, I would say, and that will continue as it heads towards St. Louis. I'm checking much better chances for rain this weekend. That's coming up.
Okay, thanks, Kenton. Progress continues to be made on repairing a Columbia Regional Airport runway. The city of Columbia released this drone video of the construction company working to create a smoother transition over the runway's crown. ESS began asphalt overlay today, and the project is on schedule. Interim city manager John Glasscock said today the project is estimated to cost between $400,000 and $500,000. The FAA will cover 90% of that.
Your taxes are due Monday, and Missouri lawmakers are pushing to pass a bill that would allow taxpayers an extension to pay what they still owe the state. KMUA's Garrett Tiaz joins us live from Jefferson City with more on the bill.
I'm standing here in Jefferson City outside the Capitol building where Wednesday the House passed a bill that would give taxpayers an extra month to pay state taxes. Now, the bill would allow taxpayers until May 15th to pay outstanding taxes for their 2018 returns. Now, you still have to file your state taxes on time to receive the extension. If needed, you can create a payment plan with the Department of Revenue, but after May 15th, the payments would have interest. The bill's sponsor said this stemmed from over-withholding taxes.
If you usually get some type of refund and now you've got a bill, you weren't expecting that bill, we just wanted to provide a window of opportunity to give people at least a month to organize their finances.
If signed by the governor, the bill will be effective immediately. Reporting live from Jefferson City, Garrett Tiaz, KMU8 News.
Thank you, Garrett. A man awaiting trial for attempted kidnapping and a separate rape case is now facing more charges for an incident in 2017. Anthony Arroyo is accused of suspicion of kidnapping, sodomy, and attempted sodomy. According to court documents, the victim told police she left a Columbia bar after midnight when her car ran out of gas. Arroyo came up behind her, identifying himself as a police officer. Court documents also say the victim was told she was in trouble for driving drunk and she must perform a sexual favor to get out of the ticket. The victim reported the case to police and identified Arroyo as the suspect. His bond for all three charges is set at $500,000.
Missouri Senate took another step toward fixing state bridges today. KMU8's David Medina was at the hearing and is here in the studio with the latest plans to start repairs.
The Senate approved a $350 million plan to fund the repairs of more than 200 bridges in Missouri. $300 million would come from bonds and $50 million from direct spending. However, it does have some restrictions. The plan would only go through if Missouri also received a federal grant that would pay for the repairs. It also requires the repairs of I-70 bridge to be completed. The plan is different from one that Governor Mike Parson proposed, which would have funded the repairs regardless. One senator explained why he thinks this plan is the best way to go right now.
The advantage of bonding is the ability to get the money up front and make us perhaps more competitive for this infra-grant applications.
Now, Governor Parson put out a statement saying, while our preference would be for an approach that does not put the fate of long overdue bridge repairs in the hands of Washington, D.C., we certainly understand that any proposed. In the studio, David Medina, KMU8 News.
One person was killed when a house exploded in Kansas City. Security camera video from a nearby laundromat captured the moment of the explosion as the house fell to the ground. The Kansas City deputy fire chief says power and gas had been shut off to the home. A body was found in the rubble, but officials have not positively identified the victim. Fire officials say the fire is not considered suspicious at this time.
We're following the developing story about WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. British police dragged him out of the Ecuadorian embassy in London earlier today. The Ecuadorian government granted him asylum in 2012, but he now faces possible extradition to the U.S. NBC's Matt Bradley reports from London.
After years of waiting, the case of Julian Assange has moved forward at a rapid pace today. Police from the Metropolitan Police here in London were invited into the Ecuadorian embassy. That's where Julian Assange has spent most of the last 7 years in sanctuary, trying to avoid charges from the United States and from Sweden and here in Britain. He was brought to this courthouse where he was immediately tried and convicted of violating the bail agreement that he had with the British government from several years ago. Now, we're probably not going to be hearing from Mr. Assange again until May 2nd. That's when he's expected to have a hearing where it will be discussed whether or not he's going to be extradited to the United States. He only faces one charge so far in America. He's accused of conspiring with Chelsea Manning to hack a government computer back in 2010.
Since 2010, we've warned that Julian Assange would face prosecution and extradition to the United States for his publishing activities with WikiLeaks. Unfortunately, today, we've been proven right.
That was ABC's Matt Bradley reporting. It's unclear whether the U.S. government is going to try to levy more charges against him. All of these will bear a lot on whether Julian Assange spends many years or very little time behind bars.
President Trump welcomed South Korean President Moon Jae-in to the White House today for discussions on several topics, including North Korea. Both leaders remain optimistic on the possibility of a third summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. President Trump believes Attorney General William Barr was correct in saying spying did occur during his presidential campaign. He also talked about Barr's comments that Trump's presidential campaign was spied on.
There was absolutely spying into my campaign. I'll go a step further. In my opinion, it was illegal spying, unprecedented spying, and something that should never be allowed to happen in our country again.
President Trump also talked about the Mueller report, saying he is not concerned because there was no collusion or obstruction.
Coming up later in the show, a break in the church burning cases out of Louisiana. We'll tell you more on the suspect coming up next.
And thank goodness this isn't happening here. It's April, but the high winds are causing blizzard-like conditions in other parts of the Midwest.
And cool air is already moving in. That continues this weekend. Then we have a bit of a warm-up next week, but I'm also tracking our next system that's going to bring rain in for the end of our weekend. And then we're also tracking more rain for next week, too. Multiple systems is all coming up.
And you're taking a live look over Roachport. Your time is 5:06. This is KOMU8 News First at 5. Coverage you can count on.
America's game, and nothing's more American than giving back.
I'm so happy to be part of St. Jude and help in any way I can.
That's a very cool thing you do, young lady.
Weeknights at 6:30 on KOMU8.
Athletes 50 and older fight for the gold medal in more than 20 sports at the 25th Annual Missouri State Senior Games, June 6th through the 9th in Columbia. For more information and to register, visit moseniorgames.org.
Never be surprised by the weather. Download the free KOMU8 Weather and Traffic app. Brought to you by Central Bank of Boone County.
At Joe Mockins Nissan, our commercial vehicles are built for work. Mid-Missouri relies on you to fix the power, keep it warm, and ensure the job is done right. That's why local business counts on commercial vans from Joe Mockins Nissan. See our full line of built-in-America commercial vans. Transform your vehicle into a custom workspace with Nissan's no-charge upfit allowance. All backed by America's best 5-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And you don't drive to an office because your van is your office. All roads lead to Joe Mockins Nissan, Providence Road and I-70, Columbia.
Tonight on Superstore, as a new leader rises,
I'm the boss.
The old one falls.
So where do we begin? Someone diarrheaed in the toy aisle.
Dibs, if you don't mind.
That's all you do.
AP Bio has a new nemesis.
Hey, jackpot.
Christopher Lloyd.
Let's break this old man.
Yeah.
Then it's the return of Brooklyn Nine-Nine with an anniversary to remember.
Bonjour.
Charles is leaving.
I am? Yeah, enjoy your weird anniversary with just the couple.
Followed by free drinks at Abby's.
This tastes like the inside of a Santa suit.
New NBC comedy Thursday tonight.
For 50 years, Cracker Barrel has been making folks feel right at home with meals like home-style country fried steak, Grandma's Sampler, and our signature chicken and dumplings. So come on home to what you love. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
Did you know the extreme climate changes create ideal conditions for pests to enter your home year-round? That's why Rottler offers the signature pest control program. So call for a free inspection at Rottler. We know Columbia pests because we know Columbia best.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by the law firm of Harper, Evans, Wade, and Nettemeyer. We will fight for you.
Welcome back. Police and federal agents say they found the man responsible for a string of attacks on historically black churches in Louisiana. And the suspect in custody now is the son of a local deputy. NBC's Jay Gray has the details.
All stations, we have a church on fire.
3 historically black churches burned to the ground over a 10-day period in southwest Louisiana. A string of attacks police and federal agents now say were carried out by Holden Matthews.
Several pieces of evidence, both physical from the scene and technological evidence, have confirmed that Matthews is the suspect.
The 21-year-old suspect is the son of a local sheriff's deputy.
Great deputy. He knew nothing. He knew nothing about his son's activity. And when I had to call him in, and we sat him down and told him what we wanted him here for, he broke down.
Investigators say Matthews carried out the attacks on his own. Now they continue to try and piece together a motive.
Information that the investigators have uncovered is that Matthews had offered, through suggestions and connections, a relationship with a type of music called black metal and its association and history with church burnings.
For the faithful,
there's a higher power going on right now.
The arrest is a blessing.
It started off a dark moment in our lives, but I think with the rebuilding process, you're going to see some things within the future that's going to be very bright for our churches.
The crime, stealing away their houses of worship, but unable to take away their faith. Jay Gray, NBC News.
What a great attitude. Well, the churches were more than 100 years old and were empty when the fires started.
A bill banning abortions in Ohio, once a fetal heartbeat is detected, is headed to Republican Governor Mike DeWine. Backers hope DeWine will sign the bill twice, vetoed by his predecessor, John Kasich. Ohio joins 5 other states that have passed similar measures. A fetal heartbeat can be detected as early as 5 or 6 weeks into pregnancy. The bill makes no exceptions for rape or incest. Opponents vow to sue. Former Penn State President Graham Spanier has been ordered to jail. A judge is giving Spanier 3 weeks to report to jail and serve his minimum 2-month sentence over his handling of the Jerry Sandusky case. The judge said Spanier can serve his time near his State College home. Spanier's remained out of bail after his 2017 conviction for misdemeanor child endangerment.
Well, as these windy conditions continue for our day on Friday, we are eventually going to be cooler as we head into our weekend with more rain expected as another system moves in from Texas. I'm tracking that for you, plus more rain next week coming up.
Nothing but the best. Do you want to drive the best? The all-new 2019 Mercedes-Benz A-Class sedan, starting at $32,500. It listens to you, anticipates your needs, fulfills your requests with natural voice recognition. A is for attention getting, and that's what you'll get at Mercedes-Benz of Columbia. We want your business. 1710 I-70 Drive Southwest. Distinctively different. Drewing Automotive.
Good, you're here. You ready to get started?
I don't see any marks. You call for a locate?
No, we're clear.
I can't dig without marks.
Look, it's pretty obvious what's here. Just go ahead. You'll be all right.
Digging without marks is dangerous. I got a family to think about. Call for a locate. When the site's marked, I'll be back. Till then, I'm moving on.
Daddy's home! Daddy's home!
Hey, sugar.
Always be safe. Call or click before you dig.
Want the very best in outdoor cooking? Buy from the store known for the best indoor cooking, Downtown Appliance Home Center. Yep, we've got top names in outdoor cooking gear you won't find at home improvement or hardware stores. So for the best, including backyard grills, spectacular kitchens, smokers, even your boat, come on down to Downtown. Downtown Appliance Home and Outdoor Cooking Center, East Broadway, Columbia. Closed captioning of KOMU8 News is brought to you by Genesis Laser and Vein, a KOMU8 Salute to Service partner.
Is neuropathy ruining your quality of life? Can you not do the simple things you enjoy because of the constant pain, numbness, tingling, burning, or that pins and needles feeling in your arms or legs? Is it made worse by the side effects of all the medications you're taking? Drowsiness, dizziness, sleeplessness, weight gain, or constipation? If so, then pick up the phone and call Lord X Spine Center to learn more about a new treatment that many are calling the first major breakthrough for effectively treating neuropathy in years. This non-surgical therapy uses an innovative process to target the affected areas of the body and, over time, helps the nerves to heal. No more heavy doses of stomach upsetting medications. Early diagnosis and treatment can offer the best chance of controlling your symptoms and preventing further nerve damage. Don't let this crippling condition control your life any longer. Call Lordex Spine Center today and find out if this neuropathy treatment is right for you. It could be the treatment that gives you back the quality of life you've been missing for so long.
Search crews in Crown Point, Indiana found a body part they believe might belong to a missing woman. Police say a foot was found Monday in a body of water. They were able to identify who belongs to thanks to a tattoo. The woman was last seen by her fiance and children on March 15th. Police do not believe abduction is a factor in her disappearance. 2 California hikers who went missing over the weekend have been found alive and safe. The hikers left Saturday morning for a day hike. When the 2 didn't return Saturday night, a search was started. After days of searching, the 2 were found and a rescue operation got them off the mountain. The 2 did not have life-threatening injuries.
A former Michigan State trooper is charged with second-degree murder in the death of a Detroit teen on an ATV. Jurors watched police dash camera video of the high-speed chase involving the officer and 15-year-old Damon Grimes. Bessner shot Grimes with a taser from a moving patrol car. Grimes died when he lost control, crashing into the side of a truck. Bessner said he believed Grimes was armed, but the teen had no weapon. An old bridge in Washington, Missouri comes down in a big way. This is the demolition of the old Route 47 bridge. It came down at 10:30 today. The bridge was originally scheduled to be demolished at the beginning of April, but was postponed until today due to flooding. And blizzards are hitting the Midwest with high winds, and conditions are causing accidents on I-70 in Kansas. A UPS semi-truck careened off an interstate bridge near in Kansas late last night. The driver was unarmed. Winds were gusting in excess of 60 miles per hour overnight with slick conditions on roads. A winter storm warning is in effect in Kansas until Friday.
Well, we didn't get into the 80s today. We were never going to, though. Here is a live look over the Columbia Regional Airport on our first alert weather cam. A lot of clouds out there still, as you can see. They are still working on the tarmac. You can see 74, though, was our high temperature today at the Columbia Regional Airport. 61 the low. Again, 61 the low temperature. Actually, we're pretty much at that right now. Our low temperature is going to be around midnight tonight. 11:59 is when we're going to hit that. We only got down to about 69 degrees this morning. Now, if you look at moisture-wise, we can see for the year, we're pretty much right on average, and even for the month so far, we are also. If we look at our next 5 days, 65 is the average high temperature when we look at about a 30-year climatology, a 30-year average. It's still going to be breezy here on Friday, but it will be calmer on Saturday. We're in the middle 50s there, then down to 44 on Sunday thanks to some rain that's going to be rolling through the air. It's really going to keep us on the cooler side of things. Then we're at 70 on Monday and 76 on Tuesday, so a nice warm-up as we do head into a new work and school week, but it is going to be cooler for our weekend, especially considering last weekend was the warmest weekend we've had so far this year. So you'll notice that difference. Otherwise, it's still very warm over to our east. 60 here in Columbia right now. It's actually in the 20s still in Nebraska over into the Dakotas, and 34 up in Minneapolis. They've been dealing with some blizzard-like conditions there. Otherwise, for us, you can see on satellite and radar, we have this cold front that's snaking through that is giving us a bit of moisture just right along that frontal boundaries. You can see that blizzard condition up towards the north. But right here, it's just getting near Herman, Montgomery City, seeing some rainfall right now, too. This is going to actually become a bit more put together as it heads closer to St. Louis, as that cold front pushes closer to the Mississippi River. It's actually looking pretty good with what our forecast was yesterday for that timing and the location of when that rain actually started popping up if you were with us the past couple days. So tracking everything hour by hour, this line and the cold front continues to push over, allowing for colder air to move in from the northwest. Still snowing, you can see tomorrow morning up in Minnesota. Otherwise, we do see a lot of sunshine tomorrow on Friday. It will be a sunny end to our work and school week. Then on Saturday, we're going to start the day with sunshine. You can see our next system developing to our south. It's going to really develop over Texas and slowly move up into the plains and even over here to our south, getting into the Ozarks as well. And then we are going to look at cloud cover by the end of Saturday. So increasing clouds throughout the day on Saturday. And then the rain moves in overnight. Actually, even Saturday evening potentially. We already have some rainfall. At this point, looks like the heaviest rain, and it could actually cause some flooding, actually, some some flash flooding south of Interstate 44, kind of for this Boot Heel area. We could see some flash flooding due to some very heavy rainfall there. For us, though, we are just looking at rain, general rain showers at this point, not looking necessarily heavy. We'll keep you updated if that does move any farther to the north for that heaviest rainfall. Then 6 a.m. Sunday, we are still looking at rainfall, but I do think it will move out, and I think by the end of Sunday, we'll not only be drier, we have slight chances for even for some sunshine. We'll have to see how much that cloud cover wants to hang on, but I do think we'll be drier as the day goes on, but it could be rainy for Sunday morning. 56 for our low temperature tonight, certainly cooler than we were this morning. Gusts around 20 miles per hour overnight, then gusts are going to be around 30 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon with 56 as our high temperature there. A lot of sunshine too. We are finally calmer. Actually, by Friday evening, we're already calmer. And then on Saturday too with 55 there. That rain moves in overnight. Remember, continues at least through the morning on Sunday. A high of only 44 there. Around 70 on Monday, 76 on Tuesday. Then next week, another system rolls through. Could give us 2 days of rainfall on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll keep you updated.
Okay, Kenton, thank you very much. How teens are trying to de-stress. We'll tell you about that coming up in your health news.
Ahead for us, what's next for Julian Assange after the WikiLeaks founder was arrested in London? And Amazon's Alexa, it's not just the device itself that's listening to your conversations. We'll have the story tonight on NBC Nightly News.
If you've been seriously injured in an accident, visit lawmissouri.com.
It's time to turn heads in a Toyota. Turn up your traction in the 4Runner with available four-wheel drive. Turn up your power in the Tundra with an iForce 5.7-liter V8 engine. Turn up your adrenaline in the Tacoma with available crawl control. This spring, turn up the heat in a Toyota. Lease a new 2019 Tacoma for $239 per month or get $1,000 customer cash on Tacoma. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Being blind is exhausting. The point is, I'm at the mercy of the world, and I hate it.
I'm at the mercy of the world. I hate it.
Shut up.
In the Dark, new series tonight at 9/8 Central on the CW.
See it, believe it. The full Hyundai lineup available at Joe Maukins Hyundai with impressive offers on every Hyundai model, all sold with true upfront pricing. View hundreds of new Hyundais on our big board with prices and discounts clearly marked. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and our 3-day love it or leave it guarantee. Worry-free car buying with true upfront pricing. All roads lead to Joe Maukins Hyundai at joemaukinshyundai.com.
Welcome back in your health news. April is National Stress Awareness Month. The number of teens saying that they're stressed or anxious has reached an all-time high. A survey found 44% say our stress levels have gone up in the past 5 years. Teenagers are particularly vulnerable to stress, leading to anxiety, depression, and obesity. Teens are avoiding stress by doing little things like putting their phone down while they eat. A landmark study involving a pair of identical twin brothers shows there is no long-term health impacts due to long space flight missions. Researchers collected samples from Scott and Mark Kelly. Scott had spent a year in space aboard the International Space Station, while Mark remained on Earth. Experts say more research is needed since only 2 people were involved in the study. As summer travel begins, people are on planes, which that means more germs, right? An airline cabin can double as a flying petri dish when not properly maintained. The enclosed space and large numbers of people make planes prime breeding grounds for bacteria. Tips for people flying are to choose a window seat as it has the least amount of contact with other passengers.
We'll have the latest updates on the weather for the rest of the week coming up after the break.
Coming up tomorrow on KOMU 8 News Today.
The 24-hour Lions Roar Run starts tomorrow. A look at the two-day event in mid-Missouri.
Plus another run this weekend that honors the memory of Molly Bowden, the Columbia police officer killed in the line of duty.
There's late-breaking news. We'll have it for you from the Right Now desk.
And it's going to be cold tomorrow. I'll have a look at the forecast.
Great days begin with great mornings. KOMU 8 News Today. Coverage you can count on.
It's the home makeover sale at Furniture Row. Save big on hundreds of refreshing new room groups, perfect for living, dining, bedroom, and more. Plus, 48 months, no interest. The home makeover sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Vein disease isn't just cosmetic. It's really about your circulation. If it's not working properly, we know that over time it will cause damage to your legs. If you address these symptoms when they're less significant, you may not get some of the more serious things that we see in older patients. When you fix your circulation, your legs will work better, they will feel better, and they will look better. At Genesis, we have treatment options that can get you back to doing the things you love in a matter of a few days.
Need glasses now? We have a lens lab in every store and can make them for you in as little as 30 minutes.
2 pairs start at just $38.71, and 91% of our glasses are ready the same day. No one makes glasses faster than Imart Express.
If you love surprises, you've got to get to Crane's. We've got great items for every hobby, and a few things that are surprising. Crane's Country Store in beautiful downtown Williamsburg. Boots, bullets, breeches, baloney.
Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. The perfect paint for when the nursery becomes the bedroom. That becomes his room. That becomes your favorite room in the house. Paint because you want to, not because you have to. For results that stand up to whatever life brings. Trust Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. Exclusively at Menards.
Right now at Menards, get 11% off everything, including Pittsburgh Paramount Paint.
It seems like with life, there's never a dull moment. When it comes to sleep, we don't always get the best rest. Find the cozy comfort, quality, and affordability of the Aspen Collection. All packed in a convenient box, exclusively at Denver Mattress.
University Subaru believes every animal deserves a safe home. That's why we're a proud sponsor of KMU 8's Pet Corner.
Hey everyone, saying Pet Corner with me. I have Storm, and Storm is only 6 months old. He is a mixed breed, but he is a very active dog and would love an owner and a family that could be active with him as well. He can be a little bit shy at first, but don't worry, he will warm right up next to you. He does also get along with other dogs, even though he can still be shy at the beginning with them. And he's really a great all-around dog that can use a little bit of training, too, teaching some tricks. Go to cmhspets.org for more.
Kenton with a dog named Storm. How fitting. Moving on, the Senate signed off on a new plan to fund bridge repairs across Missouri. KOMU 8's David Medina is here in the studio with the latest effort to pay for the needed repairs.
The Senate approved a $350 million plan to fund the repairs of more than 200 bridges in Missouri. $300 million would come from bonds and the other $50 million from direct spending. The plan would only go through if Missouri also received a federal grant that would help pay for the repairs. It also requires the repairs of I-70 bridge to be completed. In the studio, David Medina, KOMU 8 News.
Now here to look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News at 6. A Columbia man is looking at a decade in prison after he was caught with nearly a kilo of meth.
How he was brought down by a rental car. We'll tell you about that at 6. Kenton.
Have you noticed all the pollen out there? You can see it on vehicles now. That's how thick it is. So high levels of tree pollen. Otherwise, satellite and live.the-rate radar showing those brief showers rolling through the eastern viewing area. 60 right now in Columbia, 62 Jeff City. We're cooling all the way down into the upper 30s by sunrise tomorrow. Remember, it's another breezy one tomorrow. And then we start to calm down with cooler air this weekend.
Okay, that's all of our time for now.
On air, online, on Facebook.